on my pinball machines, on my arcade games.
So this
What's up, Rob?
What's up,
Hey, Rob.
Gary?
This is awesome. Rob, do you know Bill Furby? He said
I know Bill Furby.
All right, rock and
Good
roll.
to see you, Rob.
Good to see you, Bill.
So, Rob, do me a favor because I'm going to post this. So I have to tell you that, censor yourself as you see fit. But introduce yourself to the listeners at home. We all know who you are, but nobody else does.
Hey, I'm Rob Strong. I'm a cool dude. I'm hanging out in my bar, talking to my buddies. Live up in Dayton, and missing you guys, missing everybody, right?
Yeah, I guess a lot of us are really. So, really quick, because there's going to be, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some reminiscing and some discussions of people that aren't present. I tried to invite Colte and Dana and Joel again, like I always did, but the email thing didn't suggest their addresses for me, and I don't have them written down, so I didn't. So, my apologies to those guys. But Rob, just really quick, I know you and Yao went up there and opened Thai 9, but you've got like a brew pub, and what all you got going on up there right now?
I opened the old Canal Street Tavern. I opened up.
Oh, is it? Is that where you're sitting right now?
Yeah, I'm in the old Canal Street Tavern. So
Holy
you can see
shit!
behind me, like that's our ladies' restroom, but like the old green room, all the stickers and signatures and all that, like we meticulously took those panels off the wall. And brought them out and kept them here. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's an arcade and a bar and a deli. We have a deli here too.
That's awesome. And you still have Thai 9 as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Gal's Thai 9 and I'm Canal.
And you're
I hang out at the bar, dude. Right? I have a man cave.
Nice, man. That's sweet. Clearly there's smoking allowed there.
Yeah. Well, not right now.
No.
Are you guys closed?
Yeah, we're closed. We close at 7 o'clock right now because there's no business after 7 o'clock.
Is that mandated?
No, we were allowed to stay up until 10, just like all the other places. But there's just no traffic after 7 o'clock because we're pretty strict on our social distancing and masking and stuff. So there's some bars that aren't, so those bars are still busy.
Right.
I don't want anything to do with that. Right.
Gotcha.
Anything to do with that,
Gotcha.
So we started doing like private parties at night now, and
right
we
on.
just did that like 2 weeks ago, and that's going really well. So people can they come in at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, so 2 hours. I put all the pinball machines on free play. We load up the jukebox with credits, and people just come in for 2 hours. People have their own bar just for their own group of friends,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Is that something that gets booked a lot, or is it sporadic?
Well, when we first introduced it, it was only I just did a post on Facebook. We got like 3 parties, and then Dayton Daily News picked up on it. Mark Fisher, the restaurant guy, he's a buddy of mine, and he just the last 2 days has posted about it. And today we booked 3 parties.
Cool.
Just today. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, what's the outlay for that, and how do people do it if they want to?
They just give us a call. This is funny too, right? Our phone number is 937-220-WEED.
Well, maybe you could set up you haven't delved there yet. Maybe you can set up a dispensary when it goes.
I know, right? I was thinking about that, but then but the crazy thing is, I had 5th Street Wine and Deli in the Oregon District, and then so it was the same phone number for 10 years there, and then we moved here, and one of my bartenders posted in our Facebook Messenger group, does anybody ever realize what our last 4 digits of our phone number is?
Right.
I changed my logo. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Why not? Whatever it takes to get the people through the door. But what's it cost for someone to do a private party? Does it depend on number of attendees?
It's maximum 20 people. It's $200 no matter how many people you have. It's cash bar and cash food, but you have to pre-order the food, so we know before you get here.
Cash food.
Cash food.
Great.
Right on. What's the website where they can go and do that stuff? Look at the menu and get the details.
Just hit our Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weed.com.
Weed.com, right? Facebook, weed. So, it's not called Canal Street. I'm sorry. What's it called?
Canal Street Arcade and Deli.
It is called Canal Street.
Yeah. Gotta write it out, baby.
Do you still do live music ever, or did you?
No, we wanted to do it on the second floor. Was our original plan, but it's like the zoning codes, like to be able to get a staircase up there, it's just a nightmare. We'd have to like really tear the building apart almost to like be able to put another staircase in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you've got to have a fire exit and et cetera, and all that. Yeah.
I remember hearing that the upstairs there was, when it was Canal Street, was in pretty tough shape.
Oh, that's terrible, dude.
Yeah. Well, it was just kind of a half-ass storage place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's so full of shit, man. There's so many. there's like movie theater seats. There's like just it's just stuff everywhere. So much.
It was
stuff
a storage area.
Yeah.
Did you buy the building, or are you renting or leasing?
I'm renting.
Yeah.
So and until I own the building, I'm not going to invest any money in like to get upstairs.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got first stuff to buy, but like the guys, I'm paying rent every month, so why would you sell it?
Right. Yeah. So you got to wait for that guy to die.
Yeah. Pretty much, right? And he's the one to sell it, right?
Right. And get these kids come in and say, I don't want to deal with this shit. I live in Tucson.
Right.
Whatever it might be.
Well, what else is this neighborhood? This neighborhood's exploding with new apartments and businesses. There's like Mendelssohn's right next door, just sold, and they're gonna put like a 200 apartments in that building.
Really? They're just gonna raise and build new?
No, they're gonna use the same building.
Really? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So everyone's recovered from the incident last year.
Which incident?
The shooting.
Oh, the shooting. Yeah, man. I tell you what, Dayton has had one hell of a year, dude.
No, I mean, last year was insane. I mean, between the tornadoes and the
tornadoes, right? So like I lost 8 mature trees, and every car at my house, my house was like right on the edge of the tornado. Like we were like about a half mile from Ground Central, but like we lost like 8 mature trees. I was here at Canal Street when it happened, and the wife called me because my sister texted me saying, "Hey, you guys got to take cover. We got to take cover." And so I'm talking with Yao on the phone, and I'm like out on the patio here, and I can look up, and I just see all these, the sparks and the flashes of lightning and stuff.
Yeah.
And here, like, it just sounded like constant thunder, but it turns out it was the tornado, right?
Right.
So as I'm on the phone with her
where was Yao?
She was at home.
Huh.
Yeah, and so like as I'm talking to her, like I'm like, she's like, "What should I do?" I'm like, "Well, you watch Weather Channel. You watch it all the time. Go to the basement."
Right.
Take your clothes and go to the basement, right? And so in the middle of the conversation, she's like, "Oh, phone went dead."
Oh,
right?
shit.
I know, right? So I hauled ass home, and like just little twigs and stuff up until I get to my house, and like just 8 mature trees. Like one of them was just super tall. Like took the whole all the way across, smashed my wife's BMW, which we had just gotten.
Nice.
Right? Every car that was in my house got damaged, and I'm driving my beater truck. My $1,300 beater truck that day. Which I wouldn't have mind getting hit by the tornado, right? But so then a few months later, the shooting, man, that just devastated everybody here,
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're still reeling from it, Yeah, it's been a tough freaking year. And then, the COVID shutting us down, just.
Now, how long were you actually like just closed?
Neither one of my places fully closed, but we were doing carry out only.
Right.
For a few months, and.
How's that business going? The carry out.
Good at Tie 9, not so much at Canal.
I was gonna say tie knot. I mean, I mean, if you're gonna have something delivered or carried out, I mean, my guess is you're not going bar food.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. But but it's Tie 9's been doing good, and Canal Street's doing okay. Tie 9 I'm fairly above breaking even, but Canal Street I'm losing money every month. Which, but I saved a bunch, not knowing, but just because I saved money, And, yeah,
You're good at that.
yeah, right. You know me and my per diem, Gertie, right?
Were you one of those guys that pocketed it and ate White Castles every
Yeah,
day?
I spent like no money and
And I was ordering like $30 room service for breakfast and not eating at all.
Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff. Yeah, my brother, who's I would have never considered thrifty, but he owns a bar down in Bellevue, Kentucky, and he's weathered pretty well for the same reason. He said he's got savings, and it bums him out to be depleting the savings to keep the doors open, but he just keeps telling me I've got to see, there's got to be a light at the end of this. I'm gonna get back to where it was, and I'll be able to replenish again. So, I wish nothing but the best for both of you guys.
Me too. I'll give them the best for me too, right?
Yeah, I will. Well, that's the thing. Now that you've come on once, these guys can attest to it. If you come on here once, it means I'll ask you again and again.
No worries, man. Yeah, I'd love to, man.
Well, the news tonight was they were saying by November the 2nd, the CDC says everybody has to be ready for the distribution of the virus,
The distribution of the virus? I thought we were already doing that.
Yeah, we're in the middle of that.
Well,
you mean the vaccine?
the vaccine.
Yeah.
They're not going to have a fucking vaccine by November 1st. What kind of crazy nonsense is that? Of all the bullshit I've heard, I was going to say, of all the bullshit I've heard attributed. Right. I mean,
on election day, I promise to have
if you come to the polls and vote for Trump, we'll have a vaccine for you.
You will get a free virus.
Right. Of all the bullshit I've heard attributed to the CDC, a vaccine by November 1st is the most ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they just started testing on humans, right?
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't even think that I don't think they've even got any controls or anything. They've just did some randomized things. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, you guys want to say hey to here's a couple of my crew.
Hey crew,
what's up,
how's it
crew?
going? I wish I was there so I could tip you heavy for Jameson's. We'll make that happen soon, Rob. But actually, as soon as everyone feels well enough to travel, I think we should field trip up there and eat dinner at Tie 9 and then drink at Canal after.
I think it's a beautiful idea, man.
I could. I mean,
That'd be fun,
I was all excited. Hey, was Yao part of the family that owned Teak in Mount Adams?
No, she worked there though. Just
worked there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when that place shut down, I was really disappointed because it was like my favorite Thai place in town. But apparently that family is reopening another location. And so I'm super excited about it, but it remains to be seen if it's going to be as good.
Right. Yeah, the original family that Yao worked for, they sold it, a while ago.
Yeah, I remember it degenerating significantly afterwards.
Yeah.
Were you guys interested in buying that?
We tried to.
Did you?
Yeah, before we opened Tie 9, that was our goal. Was like, one of our original partners at Tie 9, who's now gone, but he was the bartender there.
Oh.
He approached us to like come in as partners, and so we had there was a gentleman's handshake across the bar. I wasn't involved in it, in any part of that. He was being the liaison because he didn't want. Yao had a falling out with the owner. Like she quit along with like 8 other people at the same day.
Right.
And like, yeah, because they were terrible people. They were terrible people to their
that sucks. I'm sorry to hear
right?
that. I have such high regard for the place,
Hey, yeah. So like we had we had lawyers draw up a contract. We sent it to them, and their counter back was twice the money than what we had agreed. They get to keep the leased cars. We'd have to pay for their leased cars.
What?
I know. And that my wife was not allowed to work there or be any part of it. Right?
They could have started there.
So here's how that went.
Right. I was gonna say they start there. I mean, it's just like I guess that's all over. Well, it worked out for the best. I mean, Tie 9. I read good things about that place. People speak very highly of it.
Dude, I'm so fortunate. I am so fortunate, man. And never my, in my life, I think I'd be where I'm at right now.
I don't know, man. I can remember thinking way back when at Bogarts and shit, thinking that you were a nice enough and smart enough person, you'd probably do all right.
Yeah, but and it's just the method of operation that just happened in my life. It's just I'm count my lucky stars every day, man.
Yeah, right? I do too, man. I didn't expect to live this long.
Yeah, me neither, man. I expect you to live this long.
Tim Schwally had 34 in the pool, apparently.
Damn.
It's out of the pool. I live in the pool, man.
I think that was a joke, but
Right.
it seems possible. It seems possible. Well, what else is going on? Are you doing anything musically? Doing any engineering? Nothing. Anything?
Nothing. No, there's nothing going on. I never really have it. Like maybe 4 years ago, I did a sound guy at a charity event at one of our venues up here.
You were just like, oh, I know how to run that.
Yeah. No, like it was a 100% charity event, and so I volunteered to I get paid. I'll come in and do sound, so that you don't have to pay the sound guy that money and go to that charity too,
Right. Sweet.
And it was fun, man.
Well, I mean, it's something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if being on the board is as obsessive and compulsive and addictive as playing itself, but it seems like it would be.
The last volunteer sound gig I did, I had Scotty Halter working there with me. I don't know, guys, if you know him. He was the Wigs manager for a while.
Cool breeze.
And and it was in New Orleans at the Civic Center there. And he tells the light guy to turn down the lights. And the lights go down and the house music is still playing and nothing happens. And all of a sudden I see Scotty's gray-haired head come bobbing out right in the middle of the crowd. He lines right to me, and about halfway from the stage to the soundboard, he yells out, "Turn down the lights means turn off the fucking music." And like 100 people in front of me all turn around and they're like,
hey, but I like that song.
"Sorry, Scotty, I don't work in a union shop where everybody's memorized your rules."
That was the last time that happened, though, right?
That was the only time that something like that's happened. So I got called to task right after the show in the back office.
Oh, shit.
I was like, "Well, the lights came down and nobody came out on stage. Do you want me to turn the music down when nobody's coming out?
Right.
Nobody comes out.
Right.
The music stopped." They'll say, "Why the fuck did you turn the music off? Nobody's coming out yet."
Right.
You know, after only 5 minutes of dead air and an empty stage, you start getting the refund chant, you know?
"Oh, maybe we'll turn the music back on if nobody comes out." Turn the fucking music off.
See, Rob, this is what it's all about. I love to pretend that this is some kind of like interview show, but the whole truth of the matter is it's just about anecdotes and talking about people that aren't here.
Yeah, I've been watching you, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Saul Dooley went ahead and said his the tour he was planning is now fully canceled, and he's going to concentrate on making a new Wigs record.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, everybody's canceled for like a year.
Right?
Yeah, that was
From
true.
now.
That was like 3 months ago, though, man.
Yeah, Gertie, what are you doing now?
Working on the tree farm, and there's a studio in town that I've been doing stuff at.
Oh, cool. Which one?
Yeah. It's a little one over in Covington. It's called Band of Helping Hands. It's a nonprofit studio, if you can believe that.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of that one. Somebody like posted a link to it a couple years ago, I think, right? They've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. You know, I get in there doing stuff, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like 7 hours later.
Right.
That's how that goes.
He has a board upstairs and a board downstairs in the performance area, and they're both linked together digitally. And then he has that headphone set up where you can assign whatever channel you want to the headphone mixer, which has like 16 channels on it.
Right.
So the performer can dial in their own headphones, so you don't have to do monitors while you're trying to record.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and he's got all kinds of amps and equipment there and microphones. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where is that place, Stevie?
It's like 38th, about 38th in Covington. It's actually Latonia.
Okay, so it's far south of like the business district and stuff. You say Covington.
Yeah, it's like right on the edge of Latonia, south of Covington.
Right on. Right on.
that new sound equipment, man, those boards and stuff. I don't even know how to operate one now. You know? Right, Gary? Like it's changed so much since I was a sound guy.
Well, the last big gig I did in Amsterdam, they had this new SSL console there, and I'd never worked on it before, but I got the hang of it pretty quick, except the knobs were so small, I needed like magnifying glasses to see what the knobs said on it.
Well, it's all run by iPad and stuff now too, right?
Well, you can do that, but I hate doing that shit.
Yeah.
Why, man? You don't love the idea of being able to wander away from the board and change settings and shit from different parts of the room? That seems like the appeal,
nice,
right?
but I don't know. It's just
we're sound guys. We mix for the sound booth, man.
Right. You got a spot. You want to stand in it.
Right. Kind of greedy like that.
I like my space.
Yeah.
Right.
But like,
who's this guy walking around with a computer?
I went down. I was at Mad Tree a while ago, and the band of Serial Killers was playing, and Bucky was doing sound.
Oh yeah, I see Bucky all the time at Southgate House.
Yeah, so I went up. I was like looking for the front of house board. I didn't know who. I was just looking to see who was doing sound, but he's got his board, in the monitor position, and he's just walking around with the iPad, and one of the monitors started feeding back, the vocal monitor. And so he's like scrolling through his iPad trying to find
That's exactly it. Yeah. Where's the page? Where's the page?
Right. Where's just all you have to do is hit a knob and be done with it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So there's the benefits and whatnots, right?
You can't do it quick. It's really cool to like stand at the microphone and adjust the EQ while you're talking into it.
Right.
But once the show starts, if you got to do something real quick, it's not fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Some of those digital boards, like you have to scroll to get the, there's maybe 10 or 12 channels, but you've got 32 channels. So you have to scroll through to get the channel.
Yeah. Well,
board,
those
right?
the big digital boards though, everything's right at your fingertips. We did this festival in Belgium, and I carry around these little USB sticks with me. So I just stick the USB in and load my show, and it's ready to go pretty much. And
that's crazy too.
I went to the sound
That's fucking
staff.
awesome though. It remembers all the settings you like and how you want everything.
It has everything exactly the way I had it the day before. And it's the same show, so it works. So I'm trying to find the sound guy, and they're like, oh, there's a room back here backstage you need to go into. And they had this room set up with about 8 or 10 huge consoles for every stage. There was a matching sound console in this room backstage, and you set your board up there, and then they send the file to the front of house. So when you get out there, you just walk out there when you're ready. When it's your turn, you don't have to go out there ahead of time and mess around with shit and see if your program comes up.
Holy balls, man.
And I thought that was unbelievable. And I got Curly, and I'm like, you gotta come see this room. It's unreal. They have $10 million worth of soundboards in this room.
How big was the room?
It was I don't know, the B studio room at Ultra Suede.
No, so not small, but not gargantuan.
Yeah,
it wasn't gargantuan, but all the boards were just packed in there, right next to each other. It was just unbelievable. It was like a showroom.
That's
something.
Insane, Gertie. Man, I remember the freaking learning on that. What was the Bogart's board? The PM2. The old
the Yamaha 2000.
Yeah, PM2000. That's it, right?
That's so old now.
Right? With the
you
notch
never see
game.
those.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Bob still has that, I'm sure.
Yeah, in his garage.
Yeah, right.
He'll hook up his wireless bass and walk around his farm and play the bass through the Bogart's PA, which he has in his garage.
You think it still sounds like shit in his garage?
No, the PA he had sounded good, and the PA they have in there now is way more expensive, and it sounds like crap.
I could count on my fingers how many good sounding shows I've seen in that place, and I've seen hundreds there.
Well, when I was there, Bob's PA was pretty good.
Those early days. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't have it. What do you got going on there, Billy? There it is. Yamaha 2000.
That's the 150.
That's the 150.
Oh yeah, right.
That's the same style that it
Right.
looked like though. The green knobs, yellow faders.
I wound up with that one when we closed the old Southgate house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, Jimmy D told me it was in the upstairs room at the old Southgate house.
Yeah, it was at one point. I've mixed on that.
Rob, I have this picture of you standing at I guess it was the monitor board that was on the side of the stage at Bogart's. I have a picture of you standing there. And I think it was that time that me and Steve-O and Dan recorded a bunch of like open air shit with Chris Camp.
Right.
But I meant to dig it out before today, and I somehow couldn't find time in the 6.5 days since we discussed you doing this.
Hey, Rob, did you ever see that video of the Wigs monitor engineer they had on a tour that danced?
Yeah, dancing like crazy. Yeah, I saw that. He looked fun.
He was having a good time.
Yeah.
He was into it. I didn't know what to think of that at first.
Yeah.
What happened? Detail.
Well, one show, like the kick drum microphone came off its stand or something, and it was a big room, and all of a sudden, there's no kick drum, which is like a big thing. It's missing.
Right.
And I look over at the monitor guy, and he's dancing, not paying any attention to like what the show is, where the microphones are. But I have to say though, he did have a big binder that he had to keep track of all the different moves he had to make during the show, because Greg wanted like an active mix in his monitor since he had a monitor guy.
Yeah.
So he was making all these moves, which he had to pay attention to, and he never like looked at the microphone. So I had to run up on stage. They're like, "What are you doing up here?" And I'm like, "He's dancing. Can't move microphones."
I'm here because nobody else is coming. That's good stuff. You guys just take off. Turn the lights out when you're done. And Rob, it was great to see you. And you guys keep talking, keep sharing stories and shit. No, I don't know.
I've missed you, Gertie.
Rob found out I was going to have a child before I did.
That doesn't surprise me.
She's in college now, right?
There's a myriad of reasons why that doesn't surprise me. Oh, really quick. Speaking of family stuff, really quick. I texted these guys and said that I had a surprise guest. And Billy said, "Is it David Yao?" And I said, "That's really close for reasons I can't even know." So just in case, Billy, you haven't gathered, Rob's wife's name is Yao.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
What pinball machine is that behind you?
It's a high flyer. It's a hot air balloon theme. Wasn't my first pick, but the price was right.
Yeah.
Picked it up from Waynesville. Some guy there completely goes through one every year and then sells it. It was only $400.
Oh, what?
$400? I forgot. I forgot. You told me how. I mean, that's actually really nice for a vintage pinball machine.
I've got a couple in the basement too that I'm working on. I've got a Williams Darling downstairs, and I got one from the 30s as well.
From the 30s?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Does that require? Is that one in need of a lot of work?
It's manual.
Yeah, it's completely different fuses and ancient stuff that's no longer relevant or able to be fixed. And
yeah, electromechanical machines, man. I know exactly what the inside of that machine looks like.
Yeah,
like all those crazy round switches, like the leaf switches, right?
Yeah,
and all the relays, man. There's so many things can go wrong in those, man.
Yeah, but the cool thing is you can say this part isn't working and trace it back visually.
Right.
Digital stuff, you look at the circuit board and you're like, I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the good old days.
well, with my electronics background, I'm able to fix most of my machines. But you're right. As soon as it comes to logic board, man, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Rob, did you acquire the stuff you have in there through just like? Do you have like a vendor, a dealer that you deal with all the time for the bar?
The first round of games I bought from one guy, and then I picked up some stuff on eBay, local, but only local. I won't pay to have anything shipped to me.
Right. Right. Well, just do me a favor. Keep your eyes open for a Robotron 2084 for me.
Robotron 2084.
It's a Williams machine from like 1983, 84 or whatever. It's like a 2-lever thing. That's it. One shoots, one moves. That's it.
Oh, right on.
I loved it. It was my favorite video game when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
And by the way, and when it came out, I wasn't really a kid anymore. I was like already like strung out, 16 or 17 or whatever. But I love the fucking thing.
Right.
And I can't find one.
Right. Dropping the quarters, right?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. There was one. The one that probably took thousands of my dollars was right inside the convenience store that used to be on Ludlow, where Habanero is now. It was a UDF or something way back in the day that you could go in and buy smokes and shit, and there was a Robotron right inside the door off the parking lot. Yep. Those were the days. Right. What else you got, man?
Nice.
So what's do you have more acquisitions on your plate? Or, I mean, obviously things are real weird right now and you're gutting your savings, but was the idea to build an empire there? Or are you pretty happy with the bar and restaurant?
No, I'm content with what I got.
Right on.
Yeah.
You can get old there, getting drunk and smoking with the youngsters in your bar.
I've got a man cave, man.
Right. The best man
more
cave
do
in the
you
world.
need?
Right. You got a man cave that has a fluctuating scenery.
Right. It's like all these new friends coming in every day, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what was it? How long have you been open as Canal Street Deli?
Just 3 years.
But see, that's the thing. So 3 years, and obviously this year's, nothing to go by. I mean, how was it? What was your crowd like? Did you build a following, or did you kind of piggyback on what was left? How long had Canal Street been closed when you acquired?
It had been closed for about 8 months or so.
Okay, so it wasn't that long.
Canal Street Tavern closed, and then another guy came in and tried to and called it Canal Street Public House, I think is what he called it.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody made the joke, pubic house, of course, right?
Sure, right? Because that's what the sign looked like it said.
I know, right? But so he didn't do well here. He didn't do well at all.
That's too bad.
Yeah, and so then as soon as I found out it opened up, but I didn't want to. I wanted a music venue, but I just didn't want to deal with the minimum. It's too small to make any money as a music venue.
I was sure you were going to say I just didn't want to deal with musicians.
No.
What was the capacity? Like 100, 150?
That place is bigger than that. I was out there. I was up there for a couple shows. I was up there for one of those like early breeders shows with GBV, and I was up there for who was it? I can't remember. The Tiger Lilies went up there and played with someone who was touring nationally at the time too. I can't remember.
So you were one of the 130 people there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, anybody here knows me well enough to know that my memory is going to be stilted at best, but it seems like it was more than that.
There were 1,000.
It was a cool venue back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and 90s, man. It was a cool venue. People still come in and it's like, I remember this show I was at.
That's right. That's right.
I opened up this one guy, like I was a guitar player, it's like a lot of memories about it.
I have two comments. Rob, I remember every time that when I lived in Dayton, we'd come and play the open mic all the time, and that there were rumors of a 5-foot bong in the basement.
Really?
Apparently those are still rumors.
Yeah, I didn't find that, but we found one of the cool things we found was like upstairs in the storage area, right, was like all the files of all these shows from the 80s, like the
really
band,
like agreements and riders and like shit like that.
Yeah,
nice.
Ponies.
Yeah. So I found an Ask Ponies payout slip. I think the funniest one I found was the Breeders made like $75 the first time they played here. Right?
Yep, that sounds about right.
There was one that circulated for a while of Fish when they played there.
Yeah. I didn't find that payout though. But I did find they did like Subsies did like the monthly calendar printout thing, and I found the Avett Brothers played here, and I'm not a huge fan, but I have a lot of friends who are huge Avett Brothers fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I was making photocopies of them of just that calendar,
right?
That said the Avett Brothers played here.
You should post those calendars. People love that shit. Post those calendars.
Right.
My second point is 1 year ago today, Scott and I were in Dayton together.
That was today, wasn't it? Was today
What
the
was that
Saturday
for?
or was today the Friday?
What were you doing up here?
Heat Fest, man. We were at what's the name of that bar that GBV played at?
It was the Guided by Voices super fan convention
Festival thing.
Oh, right.
Convention.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was definitely after the tornadoes because the mayor of Dayton introduced him at the show. What was it? What's the name of that bar? I can't think of it.
Right side.
Right
Right
side.
side. Yeah. So the mayor of Dayton comes out and introduces him and declares it GBV Day.
Yeah, right.
Because they donated apparently they donated all the money from the ticket sales for that show, and I guess it must have been a substantial percentage of the Heat ticket sales to the Dayton Tornado Relief Fund, or it might have been after the shooting too, wasn't it?
It would have been after the shooting if it was 1 year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was after both, and so apparently most of the money made by Heat Fest that weekend got donated to like the Dayton Victims Relief, whether it was tornado or whatever. And I remember we were I was out smoking cigarettes behind that wings place that was, I mean, it wasn't untouched. Their back patio had actually been decimated, destroyed from the year before. And this guy was out there with me, and he was giving me a play-by-play on the neighborhood behind the bar. He's like, and right there used to be this pine tree, and now it's gone. And this field had it was crazy. When we drove into Dayton that day, it was because you see the shit on the news and stuff, and you hear the stories. But when we drove in that weekend, it was amazing to see. Just like the backside of a strip mall where the top's all missing.
Yeah, I mean
it's just
the strip mall like right by my house, it was just decimated. It was completely gone.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was a restaurant depot. It's like a company that like we go to it a lot now.
No, there's one of those down here too. I used to go to all the time when I still worked at the quarter.
Yeah. So like they were building it. Right. They had the warehouse built, and they were bringing the shelves in and stuff. And then the tornado happened, and they had to start all over again.
Yeah.
Right? They had the whole thing down and start all over again. So they just opened about 4 months ago. But
the one in Cincinnati is just like cinder block and corrugated metal. I can't imagine it's super durable.
Yeah, right. It was like blue.
Oh man.
But I was talking with somebody who, sharing a story of somebody, the on-ramp right by my house, my exit, like a mile away from it. This girl was like in her car and like getting onto the on-ramp of 75, and her car lifted up, spun around, dropped back down, and a cinder block went through their windshield right as the tornado was coming through. I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So it was the person who told me that was the guy at the optical shop downtown. He's like, because she had to go get new glasses because it shattered her glasses.
Jesus. Shattered her glasses, but she lived.
That's a lucky break if that's,
Can you imagine being lifted up? Your car lifts up like 3 feet off the ground, spins around, drops back down, and all of a sudden a cinder block comes through your windshield. Holy crap.
I mean,
I wanted to show you what I'm doing.
What are you doing, Gertie?
Do that, Stevie. Stevie, we got a minute and 25, man. Do it. Show him.
This.
Plant trees, brother. Trees.
All right.
I got
what are you gonna do with that?
Field of them.
He's gonna grow it. He's gonna grow it. He's gonna grow it for 10 to 15 years and then sell it to me for $45.
Right.
Yeah, I got Scott picked out right here.
You got me picked out? Oh, thanks, buddy.
College brown tree.
You know what? Do me a favor, Stevie, right now, since nothing's gonna happen with it. Go ahead and dig it up and put it in a plastic
10 years,
box for me.
They'll be ready.
Right.
Is that how
10, 12, right?
10 years, 10 to 12.
Rob, hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
I literally left my Zoom account with the 45-minute time limit because I didn't think anybody would want to listen to me and my friends bullshit for much longer than that. But I really, really appreciate you coming on, and we will do this again. Hey, man, if you want, I'll send you the invite every Wednesday. I send Colte. Typically, I'll send Colte and Joel and Dana, anybody that's been with us before, and see who shows up. Oh, and Brent wanted me to say hi to you because he said you recorded the demos for his first band. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
It's his anniversary. Happy anniversary, Brent and Ryonen.
Right. Happy anniversary.
Yes.
Nice to see you. I'm going to cut it off before we get cut off automatically.
Right.
You guys
Good
have
to
a
see
great
you,
one. We'll
Rob.
talk again soon.
Oh,
Rob,
good
take care.
to see you.
Tell Yao I missed the grill outs at the Koi
Billy.
compound.